have ourselves a confrontation.
This is United Nations reporter Eric Carter with the news. As the series of earthquakes continue to destroy Chile, the United Nations has granted immediate emergency aid. Transport planes laden with food and medical supplies have already been dispatched to the stricken area.
People have been waiting for this movie for quite a long while, almost 60 years since the last movie. King Kong vs. Godzilla, 1963.
It seems an impossibly long period of time.
Well, yes, it has been a long time since the last showdown, but now we finally get the 2021 updated version, and I think it's pretty good. This showdown between King Kong on one hand,
A, quote, mysterious god, unquote, who lives on the island. The god is supposedly an enormous creature that no one has ever seen, but who is rumored to be taller than many of their mountains.
then on the other hand you have Godzilla,
I tend to classify him as a prehistoric species of dinosaur, possibly a cross between the gigantic Tyrannosaurus rex and the Stegosaurus, which is sometimes known as the plated dinosaur. Roughly, this particular form of reptile existed somewhere between 97 and 125 million years ago.
This movie was so hyped that I actually know people who were placing bets on who they thought would win the fight in the end.
Oh, I bet Kong has no chance. I'll toss you. Heads for King Kong. Tails.
The story of the movie is Godzilla is wreaking havoc, and it's up to King Kong to stop him. And honestly, I think that's where it should have stopped. The biggest issue in this movie is the focus on the other characters and their other plot lines, when what you came here for, at least what I came here for, was just to see a giant, fun-filled smackdown. I mean, the human characters weren't as bad as they were in the Godzilla movie. However, the issue was that I didn't care about much of them. You had this group of teenagers and some guy. They were running around having to do something, and then you had another storyline of the mother of the deaf girl who had to do something, and then the only human character that I really felt was necessary was the little deaf girl. But as for everyone else, I didn't really care about everyone else's not performance, but I didn't really care about their characters and their stories. But that's not to say that the human characters were bad in the movie. In fact, I actually really enjoyed Brian Tyree Henry's role as a conspiracy theorist. I thought it was very funny. I thought he worked a lot. I think he was great in the movie. I think the comedy in the movie was well played. And I think he worked well with Millie Bobby Brown, who was playing the teenage girl. And as for the other human characters, like Kaylee Huddle, who plays the young deaf girl in the movie, who actually managed to teach King Kong sign language and forms a special bond with him. And I think she's really great. I think she's actually the best human character because she manages to humanize King Kong in a really cool way.
Funnily enough, the only actor who actually makes an impact, and this relates to something that you were talking about before with Riz Ahmed, is Kaylee Huddle, who plays a deaf character who learns to communicate with Kong. Her acting is so much more expressive than the acting of everybody else around her that she really stands out. The point is that obviously because she's signing, and that's that particular line of communication, but also she is expressing the character through physicality.
Other than those three human characters, I think the rest of them were more or less either obnoxious or unnecessary. I felt it could have just been those central characters and their storylines, make it a little bit more simple, and just have King Kong and Godzilla duke it out. But ultimately, this is definitely what you'd want out of a movie called Godzilla vs. Kong. It's great, it's fun, and I think anybody can enjoy it. I think it's a really good movie. So I wish this movie would have had Jordan Roberts directed. Jordan Roberts, who did Kong Skull Island, and I did like this movie. I did like Kong Skull Island a lot better than I liked this movie. I think this movie doesn't have its own kind of, individuality that Kong Skull Island had. I think Kong Skull Island was a much better film. This film was good, but I think Kong Skull Island was great. And this, what is directed by Adam Wingard, I don't think works as well. But I do think they're both really good movies. Kong Skull Island is better. This movie is good, is really good. And I think another thing that works against it is the fact that we had to see this movie at home. We couldn't see it at the cinema, and I think this movie was a movie that was shot and really made to really be theatrically released. Minus spoiler. This movie in a way kind of reminded me of Batman vs. Superman. You have these two iconic characters who are manipulated into fighting each other by this greedy, power-hungry billionaire. Then they both end up having to team up against this monstrosity that the billionaire created. And then there's even a little bit of a Martha moment at the end, but executed in a better way.
Why did you say that name?
It is kind of similar to Batman vs. Superman, except this is a real movie. But that's all I have to say about the movie for now.
Gentlemen, that's all I can tell you for now. Good day.